How to install a Ghost website on DigitalOcean, add a domain name, and a SSL certificate for HTTPS. In this video tutorial, we'll start off by installing Ghost on a DigitalOcean Droplet, which is what DigitalOcean calls its cloud servers or virtual private servers, VPSs. We'll do this by installing one of DigitalOcean's one-click install apps available for Ghost. Once we have installed Ghost on our DigitalOcean Droplet, we'll then need to buy a domain name if we don't already have one. In this video tutorial, I'll be using Namecheap as the domain name registrar of choice. Once we've got our domain name purchased, we will then need to point our domain name to our DigitalOcean Droplet that contains our Ghost website. We'll do this by using DigitalOcean's Custom DNS Records. DigitalOcean has 3 name servers that we'll need to add to our domain name registrar. Once we've done that, we'll add a few hostname DNS records to DigitalOcean. Okay, with that intro out of the way, let's start the tutorial. First, navigate to the following URL address. This URL address is my referral link to DigitalOcean, and it will give you $200 in free DigitalOcean cloud credits to try out their servers free for 60 days. I'll put this referral link in the video description below and as a card at the top right hand corner of this video. Create your DigitalOcean account using your email, your GitHub account, or your Google account. Now, I have already created a DigitalOcean account, so I'm simply going to click on Sign In to be taken to my DigitalOcean control panel. As you can see, I'm in my tutorials project. By default, you'll be in the project that you named when you were initially setting up your DigitalOcean account. To create our droplet, click on the green Create button and then click on Droplets. Choose a region for your droplet, so I'm going to go with New York. You can choose whatever region you want. Continue to scroll down until you see where it says Choose an Image. Click on the Marketplace tab. Then click on the search box here to search for Ghost. Type GHO and then you'll see the Ghost app. Now, for some reason, DigitalOcean search isn't working as well as it should, because if I was to type the full name of Ghost, so GHOST, you can see Ghost doesn't pop up in the search results. So GHO at this current moment in time will bring up the Ghost app for you to select. If you're having issues locating Ghost, then I'll put a link to DigitalOcean's Ghost Marketplace app, where you can simply just click on Create Ghost Droplet, and then it will take you to the droplet creation page, which we're currently on. So once you've typed GHO in the search box, click on Ghost to select the Ghost app. As you can see, this Marketplace app will install the latest version of Ghost on Ubuntu, and this is the current version of Ubuntu it will install Ghost on. Scroll down until you see where it says Choose Size. As you're just starting out with your Ghost blog, a droplet type of shared CPU will be more than enough. Click on Basic Plan if it already isn't pre-selected. If you need more power, you can go with a dedicated CPU plan. Scroll down until you see CPU options. For CPU options, you have 2 overall options. You have the regular type with a disk type of SSD, and you have the 2 premium types with NVMe SSDs. Now, of course, you're just starting out, so the regular type is more than enough, so click on that. You'll now need to select your plan. For a Ghost blogging website, you need a minimum of 1 GB of RAM. However, it is recommended on the Ghost website docs that 2 GB should be selected, and that would be the current $12 a month plan, which gives you 2 GB of RAM, 1 CPU core, 50 GB SSD disk space with 2 TB of bandwidth. So I'm going to click on this option to select it. Scroll down until you see where it says Choose Authentication Method. Click on Password and then create a root password for your DigitalOcean Droplet. Make sure you meet all the password requirements below. So I'm just going to enter my password now. Once you've done that, continue to scroll down until you see where it says Advanced Options. Click on Advanced Options and then click on the checkbox here to enable IPv6, which is free and enables public IPv6 networking. This is important to checkmark as this will future-proof your Ghost blogging site, as eventually the internet will move on to IPv6 addresses over the old IPv4 address system. The final thing we'll need to do is give our droplet a host name, which is an identifying name for our droplet. Click on the text box and delete all the pre-typed information in here. I'm going to call my droplet Ghost. Once you've chosen a name, click on Create Droplet, and DigitalOcean will then begin installing Ghost on your droplet. I'll be back with you once this installation is completed, once the progress bar reaches to the end here. Alright, I'm back, and as you can see, Ghost has been installed, and our server is up and running, indicated by the green status symbol here. If you're looking for some docs to get you started, you can click on the Get Started hyperlink text here for Ghost, or you can just keep watching this video, as we'll now go through the domain part of this video. Open up another tab in your browser and navigate to the following URL address. This URL address is my referral link to Namecheap. Namecheap is a domain name registrar, and if you don't already have a domain name to link to your Ghost site, then you can purchase one using this link. As a new user to Namecheap, you'll get 57% off a .com, 13% off a .net, and 42% off a .org. And if you scroll down, you can see all the available TLDs here that Namecheap has available for you to purchase with the relevant discounts. To find a domain name you want to purchase, click on this text box and then type in the name of your domain name. So I'm going to type Websplaining and then I'm going to click on search. You'll then be able to see all the domain names available for you to register, and as you can see, websplaining.com has already been registered, and that's because I own it. For video demonstration's sake, I'm going to go with .net here, so I'm going to click on add to cart, and then I'm going to click on checkout. Select the number of years you would like to register the domain name for, and make sure you've got domain name privacy enabled. Once you've done that, simply click on confirm order, add your personal details and your billing details, and complete the checkout process. Now, I'm not going to go through this as I already have a domain name, which is websplaining.com. So once you've got your domain name and signed into your Namecheap account, you'll be taken to the Namecheap dashboard. In your dashboard, click on domain list, and then you'll see the domain name that you have purchased. To the right of your domain name, which in my case is websplaining.com, click on manage. Scroll down until you see where it says Nameservers. By default, Namecheap Basic DNS will be selected here. Click on the drop-down arrow and click on Custom DNS. We'll be adding 3 nameservers from DigitalOcean. Click on Add Nameserver to allow you to add the third. Go back to your DigitalOcean control panel here and then click on Create and scroll down until you see where it says domains/DNS. This will allow you to route your existing domains. Click on it. Make sure you're in the Domains tab and then click on the text box here to enter your domain. So mine is websplaining.com. Once you've entered in your domain name, you'll then need to select your project. If you have multiple projects, you'll only have one, so you don't need to worry about this, and then simply click on Add Domain. Our domain name has now been added to DigitalOcean. Scroll down until you see where it says DNS Records. Here you'll be able to see the 3 name servers for DigitalOcean. You'll need to copy each of these and paste them into your domain name registrar. So I'm going to click on copy to copy the first NS1 name server here, and then I'm going to go back to my Namecheap Custom DNS section, and I'm going to right click in the first name server one and click on paste. Make sure to delete the full stop as it's not necessary, and then repeat this for the other 2 name servers. So I'm just going to go back to my DigitalOcean DNS records, click on copy for NS2 and paste in the second name server, and then for the third, copy NS3 and go back to Namecheap's Custom DNS records and paste in the third name server. Again, make sure to delete the full stop here for NS3 and the full stop here for NS2. Click on the check mark here to save. You'll then get a notification from Namecheap which says DNS server update may take up to 48 hours to take effect. From my experience, it doesn't take this long if you have just purchased a brand new domain name during this video demonstration. Go back to your DigitalOcean control panel and scroll up a little bit. Now what we're going to need to do is add an A record. This A record will point a host name of our choice to the IPv4 address of our ghost droplet. So in the hostname section, enter the host name that you want. If you want the host name exactly like your domain name without, for example, www. before it, then simply type @ and you'll get a preview underneath here. So as you can see, websplaining.com will direct to, and then click on the search box here and look for the IPv4 address of your ghost droplet, which is called ghost in my case, and then click on create record. Now if you want a subdomain name like www. then click on this box and type www, and as you can see, www.websplaining.com will direct to. Again, click on the IP address of your ghost droplet and then click on create record. Essentially, in this hostname box here, whatever the hostname you want to access your ghost blogging website on, you'll need to put it in here. So for example, if I wanted test.websplaining.com, then that's where my ghost website will be accessed on. So I'm just going to delete what I've just typed in here as I'm not going to add this A record. Next, what we're going to need to do to future-proof our website is to add AAAA records or quadruple A records. To do this, click on the quadruple A record and then repeat what you just did for the A record. However, in this case, you're going to be selecting the IPv6 address of your ghost droplet. So in here, I'm just going to type @ for websplaining.com, click on the box for will direct to, and then select the IPv6 address, which starts with 2604, and then I'm going to click on create record. And again, do this for www. Click on the will direct to box, and then click on your ghost droplet IPv6 address, and click on create record. Now, just to note that Ghost will only be installed on whatever hostname you will eventually decide to choose. So later in this video, I'm going to be installing Ghost on the hostname websplaining.com and not www.websplaining.com. Great, so we've created all the relevant DNS records. Now what we'll need to do is log into our ghost droplet using SSH. We can do this using DigitalOcean's console. To do this, click on your project name. In my case, it's tutorials. You'll only have one, so just click on that. It'll be directly underneath projects, and then look for your ghost droplet and click on the name. To access DigitalOcean's droplet console, you can simply click on access, and under where it says droplet console, you can see you're going to be logging in as root, and then just simply click on launch droplet console. Or if you want a simpler method, you can navigate to the top right here and click on console. DigitalOcean DigitalOcean's Droplet console window will then open. We'll now need to configure DigitalOcean's one-click Ghost installation. So first, Ghost will prompt us for two details. We'll first need to add our domain name, which involves adding an A record and pointing it to the IPv4 address of our Ghost Droplet, and you need to ensure that the DNS has fully propagated. We have already done the A record part, and then the second part will involve adding an email address that will only be used for SSL, which this one-click Ghost installation will request for you from Let's Encrypt. And at the bottom here it says press enter when you're ready to get started. So I'm ready, so just press enter on your keyboard, and Ghost will then begin downloading and installing onto your Ghost Droplet. I'll be back with you once the installation has completed. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, Ghost has finished installing. Now what we'll need to do is enter our blog URL address. So this will be your domain name and the exact A record that you created in DigitalOcean. So I added two A records. That was websplaining.com and www.websplaining.com. So I'm going to pick one. So I'm just going to roll with websplaining.com. So I'm going to type websplaining.com in here. Once you've entered in the domain name or the subdomain name that you want Ghost to be installed on, hit enter on your keyboard. Now we'll need to enter an email for Ghost to request an SSL certificate for HTTPS. So I'm going to type in here websplaining123@gmail.com. Once you've entered in an email, hit enter on your keyboard. SSL certification will then be requested from Let's Encrypt, and once the console has gotten SSL for you, it will then begin starting Ghost. I'll be back with you once Ghost has started on your Droplet. Alright, I'm back, and as you can see, Ghost was installed successfully. To complete setup of your publication, visit, and then the URL address is listed below, which is essentially your domain name /ghost. So in my case, it's https://websplaining.com/ghost. So I'm just going to highlight this URL address, and I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to click on copy. Once you've copied it, go back to your other browser window and create another tab, and then right click at the top of the address bar and click on paste to paste in the link that you copied from the Droplet console, and then hit enter on your keyboard. Once done, you'll be taken to the Ghost admin setup page for your Ghost website. As you can see, it says welcome to Ghost, and then we'll need to fill in some details here. First, we'll need to start off with the site title. So I'm going to call my site Websplaining tutorials. Once you've chosen a site title, you need to enter in your full name. So because this is just a video demonstration, I'm just going to call myself Websplaining, and then we'll need to add an email address. This email address will be used as your Ghost admin username. So when you want to log into Ghost again, you'll need to use it. So again, I'm just going to type websplaining123@gmail.com. Once you've chosen an email address, you'll need to choose a password for your Ghost admin account, and I'm just going to enter a password in here now. Once done, click on create account and start publishing. And there we go, we are now on our Ghost dashboard, and we can begin customizing the design of our Ghost blog. We also have other options such as exploring the editor, building your audience, and share your publication. On the left, you also have further options, and if you scroll down, you have even more, including settings. If you already know what you're doing, you can skip the onboarding process. So let's view the default site that Ghost has installed for us. So I'm going to hover over View Site, and I'm going to click on Open Site in a new tab here. And as you can see, this is our live Ghost website with the default Ghost theme. Our site is called Websplaining Tutorials, and if I scroll down, you can see exactly how that looks like. You also have an About page by default, you have a Home page, and you have a Coming Soon blog. And I'm going to click on it, and this was added by default by Ghost on the initial setup. And you can also click on your Ghost blog title to go back to your home page. To show you that HTTPS is enabled, I'm going to go to the top of my address bar here, and as you can see, we are using HTTPS, and you can click on this symbol here to view your site's information. As you can see, the connection is secure. If you click on show connection details, you can see more details, and at the very bottom here it says certificate is valid, and you can click on the symbol here to show certificate information. You can see it was issued by Let's Encrypt, and here's when it was issued and the current expiration date. Okay, so now you can go back to your Ghost admin and begin customizing the design layout of your Ghost blog and start blogging. So that pretty much concludes this video on how to install a Ghost website on DigitalOcean, add a domain name and a SSL certificate for HTTPS. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, comment down below, and most importantly of all, subscribe to support the channel. I'll see you on the next video.